Colt Gold Cup National Match 1911 with a 22 conversion kit. I want one. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I did.
And again.
Yeah.
Bob Marvel 1911 22 caliber conversion kit. The barrel just doesn't move.
Right.
Which is crazy. Oh man, I want one of these too.
And I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon too. AMAZON. Look
I
them
think
up.
that's-
They
I
sell
think
all
that's
kinds of stuff
Amazon.
at discounted prices, and you get it the next day.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Let's see. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
we're back.
we are. And we're talking about something really neat. I wrote an article about this several years ago, I think for Shooting Sports USA or Gun Digest or somebody. And Seb and I were talking about things that would make a neat story that, you know, that involves specific guns and things like that. And I thought about this. So what a lot of people, what reminded me of this is a friend of mine wrote a book about the origin of the M1 carbine, and he led the book out with the mention that Carbine Williams actually designed a conversion unit to go on 1911s.
So who's Carbine Williams?
Carbine Williams is the guy who designed, they made a movie about him.
Okay.
And his real name, I'm not sure what I can't remember his first name now, but he invented the floating chamber, which the floating chamber allowed a 1911 with a steel slide to operate just like a 45, because there's not enough. The slide on a 1911 weighs too much for a 22 to overcome that much mass and energy. So he came up with a way to make that happen, and it was just a conversion kit that you could put on a 1911, and that was desirable because at the time this happened, I think it was about 1931 or 2, something like that. The Army was, our standing Army was very small, and we really didn't have a budget to expend a lot of money training troops.
Right.
So, yeah, so they
I see where you're
originally,
going with it, yeah.
so
Okay.
they actually, he went to them and said that one of their big concerns was the machine gun. So he was going to design a 50 caliber machine gun that shot 22 long rifle. And eventually he did. So, but when he had the initial conversation with Colonel Hatcher, was the guy in charge of procurement of arms for the Army, when he had that conversation, he showed Colonel Hatcher his 1911 conversion, that you could shoot 22s in a 1911, and Hatcher was impressed, and the Army wound up buying it, and they actually, there were a lot of guns that the Army had conversion kits for that you could shoot.
So this was used by our Army.
It was originally used by the Army, and then it was commercialized.
Okay.
So the one that I've got, it was, I think it was made about 1968, and it's just a replacement slide for a 1911.
Right.
A slide, a barrel, a recoil spring, and then you use some of the other parts of the gun. So the way it works is, I've got it converted to 22 right now. So the gun itself is a Colt Gold Cup National Match, that was the best gun, the best 1911 Colt made back in 1968. It was before the Series 70 guns. It was arguably much better than the Series 70 guns. And their idea was, in making this gun, that an average Joe could buy this gun out of the box and go compete in conventional pistol matches. So yeah, all the paperwork and all that stuff. It even came with a target at that time. It even came with a target, and it would shoot ragged holes at 15 yards where they tested it.
You gotta also appreciate, like, this man has kept this box.
I've actually got, somewhere here is the cardboard slip that goes over the box to protect it, that it was shipped in. It's got the serial number written on it.
I don't know how many people my age can hold a box for a Colt Gold Cup National Match Automatic 1911.
Yeah, and it was from 1968. So what would that be? That would be 58 years ago, right? Is my math good? Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, in the comments below, you can check my math. So
that's to me. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a really high-end gun, and you can look. This is the original slide, and you can see the finish on it. It's a real high-polished finish. It had an Eliason rear sight. At the time, that was like the very best rear sight system that you could buy for a gun, and it was a Cadillac pistol in its day.
Right.
So when Colt was building these ACE, they called it an ACE conversion for the 1911 45s. At some point, they started commercializing it and selling it. They actually sold a few dedicated 1911 45s, and from what I understand, they're extremely valuable because they didn't do that many of them. So
you don't have one, do you?
I do not have one. So if I did, it'd be on this table right now. So to change this gun, we're going to change it from 22 back to 45.
And this is the Gold Cup.
This is the Gold Cup. Okay. So a lot of people, it used to be, if you were a gun guy, you knew how to take a 1911 apart.
Never done it.
Yeah, and it was not complicated, but by today's standards, yeah, it was complicated. So you had to rotate this bushing, and that let you take this spring cap off. And at this point now, I've taken the bushing out because the slide is going to come off the front of the gun once I line up this pin right here.
I see.
And you don't have to see this really well in the video because there's a million videos better than me showing you how to take it apart. So now here's the barrel and the slide, and this part stays together. Also, the barrel is a separate part. There's also a little spring in here that is the extractor.
Oh wow.
Or the extractor. So anyway.
So the barrel doesn't come out of the slide, or it can?
It can. Okay. Yes, it can. I can take this barrel out of the slide, but I don't need to.
Right.
To change it
converting back.
To convert back. Yeah. So to convert back, I do need this part.
Which is,
and I need
part of the recoil system.
This part, yeah, this is the recoil spring guide.
Right.
So
and this is the
I go
stock recoil spring.
This is a stock recoil spring. All right, so here's my 1911 slide. So now I'm going to put my.
It has the barrel, slide, and everything is already in the slide.
Yeah, it's already in the slide, and it comes out. It just comes out. Right. On a 1911, you just flip the link. And the barrel unlocks and slides right out the front, like that. Out
the front of the slide. So, again, I wouldn't say that I'm a gun guru like yourself, but I've never even handled a 1911. So all this I'm learning as he's showing me, which is
other than the guys that compete nowadays. These guns are dinosaurs.
Right.
I mean,
they're very, very nice to look at.
Yeah, they're very nice to look at. They're very nice to shoot. But my boy Chris, when I first met Chris, I was telling him that I liked the 1911s, and he's a younger generation and shot those plastic striker-fired guns and that sort of thing. And he said, well, the bad thing about 1911s is when they're fully loaded, they're half empty. And that was 100% correct. That was 100% correct. So now I've got this. I got this link here. I got to line this link up, and I put my. That might be my takedown pin.
So do you have to have the separate takedown pin for the 22 conversion, or they're the same?
Actually, I don't know why they gave us two, because the best I can tell, there's no difference between the two.
Right.
Okay, so now I've got it here, and then there's a little trick in putting 1911s together that you want to. You want to line it up really, really well, and be careful because you can scratch the frame on the gun.
Oh no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. But okay, so let me get right here, and there's a little thing that catches it. Well, I don't have it.
And I guess while he's
Struggling.
I wouldn't say he's struggling. If it was me, I would just look at the thing like whatever. But so basically, he was talking about how it's just a conversion kit for the 1911, and he's probably going to cover it. But from what my understanding is, this is a way to train with this platform more affordably.
Yeah, it was all about the military being able to train at a less cost than if they were doing it, there it is, than if they were doing it with a, not, 45 caliber ammunition, 22 rimfire ammunition. 22 still, it's the best training tool in the world. The only thing that 22 has a disadvantage in training is that it generates no recoil and very little noise. And recoil and noise are the things that shooters have to overcome because that's where anticipation comes from, right? So we're at 45 again. So
just like that.
Just like that. Well, with a little bit of struggle because I hadn't done it in a long time. I actually switched it over earlier today, and that was last time before that was probably 25 years ago. So a funny story about this. I took this to Wisconsin in 1975 for the air show in Oshkosh. And so I took the gun with me, and my brother-in-law and I shot it with the 22 conversion kit on it. And then I packed the 45 slide and barrel and stuff in the original box. And I got home and I couldn't find it. So I had lost the slide to a Gold Cup national match, and I looked everywhere for it. And we could never figure out where it was. Probably 5 years after that, I was cleaning out my attic, and I had 2 air mattresses because we camped. We camped at Oshkosh, and we used air mattresses. I had 2 air mattresses, and I picked them up. I was going to throw them away because I figured they'd been in the attic and they were no good. One of them was heavier than the other one, and it had this conversion kit box with the original 45 slide in it wrapped up in the air mattress so it wouldn't get lost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never lost it.
Yeah.
It was where you left it.
Yeah, it was right where I left it. I never lost it.
Again, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah,
the patina on this box.
Actually, the label that goes on the box has come loose. It's inside the box. Because with old stuff like that, all of that's provenance. It makes the gun more valuable. That box, that Gold Cup box, if I was selling that gun on Gunbroker, that box is probably worth $200 or $300.
Oh, I can imagine. A real collector would be chomping at the bit of something like that.
Yep. So this is the magazine for it. So we're 22. Back in 45 grade now.
That's 45 or?
This is the 22 magazine, and it's got a little thing that helps you compress it to load it.
Oh, nice.
And
like a modern, the Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, like the modern guns. Yeah, that just helps you load it. And so that's actually going to go back in the box now because we don't have a 45. What's really interesting about this, though, is because of that floating chamber moves. Well, let's see it, and let me show you the floating chamber in the barrel. That's a kind of a neat part of this. So the floating chamber in the barrel
stand by
while I'm fumbling with parts. Okay, so here's the floating chamber, and it's not floating. I shot the gun today. There it is. It's starting to come out. It's one of the big disadvantages to this system. This thing has to be cleaned constantly.
Okay.
So there's the floating chamber, and it rides inside the barrel there. Oh, so what happens when the gun goes off, this pops back and hits here, and it gets enough momentum to cycle the slide with a regular 1911 spring.
I see.
And the fact that it pops back that hard, actually, this has the recoil of a 9mm. It has real recoil instead of a normal 22. So
so now is the chamber just chambered? Like, is that the only 22, or is the whole barrel?
The whole barrel's 22.
Okay, because I see the chamber.
But the chamber is a 22 caliber chamber, and it floats inside the gun. And that is what causes it to, that's what gives it its oomph.
Got it.
All right, so we'll put this back in the box, and I'll figure out how to get this little extractor back in it when we're not on a camera, but it's an interesting thing.
Camera adds pressure.
Yeah, they do. So, so then, you know, this was a great thing, but I already mentioned two problems with this. One is it's very, very picky and requires a lot of cleaning because there's all that carbon from shooting it as a 22 winds up in that floating chamber area, and that's the reason I had to really work it to get it to break loose and go.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, and the fact that the floating chamber doesn't contribute to accuracy and the barrel doesn't fit close in the bushing because it's basically a service grade system, this didn't really work for competitive shooters.
Okay.
Because they needed really fine, high quality accuracy, and a good 1911 45 will shoot 1.5 inches at 50 yards.
So this is not
good
that,
ammunition. This is not that. This gun is probably, this gun out of the box with really good ammunition is probably 3-inch groups at 50 yards.
So, and that is the Gold Cup.
And this is the Gold Cup, yeah.
So
the guys that were at high levels shot guns that were super fine tuned, and the 22 version of this just was not accurate enough. They shot high standards and Smith and Wessons and things like that. So
were they using 22 to compete?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
the way those matches worked, you shoot 90 shots with a 22. You shoot 90 shots with a center fire, and you shot 90 shots with a 45. So a lot of people shot the center fire stage with a 45 because they already had a really tuned gun and they were very accurate, and you know they generally, but you could shoot that class with a 38 special like a Model 52 or something like that. It was a 38 special semi-automatic that was designed to be super accurate. So anyway, this doesn't really work for a competitive shooter.
Okay.
So I'm not sure of the year, but a guy named Bob Marvel, who built 45s and built competition pistols for conventional pistol, was what that was called. He designed a conversion kit for a 1911 that was really, really accurate. So this is, Bob retired, he sold his company out, and one company bought him, if I remember right, and then another guy came up and maybe patent expired or something like that. And this is a Nelson conversion. So
both 1911s, different.
Both 1911s,
designers.
entirely different designs. So on this gun, if you'll look on this gun, the whole top of the gun here doesn't move, just this slide part in the center. And that lets the barrel be stationary. So on this gun, this guide rod is also a screw that locks this barrel onto the frame of the 1911.
Wow.
Which means the barrel's stabilized, it can't wobble around. It wobbles around in this gun, it's stabilized in this one. And in order to get it to operate, they had to make the slide lighter because we used that floating piston on this gun to make it work. On this gun, they just made this whole barrel assembly is attached to the frame, and then the gun operates by moving just this slide here back and forth. So they were able to reduce the weight to the point where this gun would cycle by doing that. And at the same time, they made the gun super accurate. So
the barrel just, it never moves.
Like, the barrel on this gun doesn't move. The barrel on this gun flops and wobbles and everything else. Yeah. So in the competition guns, they spent a lot of time, they would fit this bushing here to the barrel, and then they would use different lengths under here to make sure it locked up exactly the same every time. So they got accuracy out of the 45 that way, but that didn't work with the conversion unit because of the way it worked.
Okay.
So with this one, they solved that whole issue. And what's really neat about this gun is when I started shooting, I only shot a couple of 2700 matches. That was precision, and that was you were shooting at 25 and 50 yards in slow fire, timed fire, and rapid fire. Rapid fire was 5 shots in 10 seconds, and with a 45, with one hand, I mean, that's tough. So,
So 5 yards. So you said 5 rounds in 10
5
seconds?
rounds.
And you're trying to
5
be
rounds in 10 seconds.
fast and accurate.
And accurate. And the guys that were really, really good would shoot groups this big in rapid fire.
Okay.
It was amazing how good some of those guys were. So anyway, back then everybody shot iron sights, and everybody carried a smoker or smoked their sights. Well, now everybody shoots an optic.
You just said something I've never heard of before.
A smoker.
What's that?
Okay. Wish I had one here. I'd show it to you. It's really cool. So it's a little thing that looks like a cigarette lighter.
Okay.
And you put calcium carbide in it, and calcium carbide looks like just rocks.
Okay.
But calcium carbide, when you put water on calcium carbide, it turns into acetylene. And acetylene is really smoky. So what you do is you would unscrew your smoker, spit in it, or put a couple drops of water in it, screw the lid back on, strike it, and then you'd get a flame. And it was the same kind of flame that the coal miners used to use. They used carbide lamps.
Okay.
So anyway, it would make a real smoky flame, and then you would put that smoke on your sights so that your sights were no reflection of the sun whatsoever on your sights and super black. So when I was shooting the M14, everybody carried a smoker. And we would smoke our sights. You smoked them at every yard line. You'd smoke your sights.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna have to do something. That seems crazy to me. I mean, I understand the concept of it, but I would like to see like a video of it. Or...
Yeah, I've got a smoker somewhere, but I don't have any carbide. And I was at a place, carbide now is really expensive because you can't ship it.
Right.
Yeah. If it comes in contact with water, it turns into, it's very volatile.
Okay.
So, all right. So
sorry about that.
That's okay. So getting off the smoke part.
Yeah.
You got 2 screws right here up on top of this rib on top of the gun. And if you take these 2 screws out,
you can put
these guys will sell you a mount that you can put any kind of sight you want to put on top of the gun and optic.
Put an LPVA.
Yeah. Yeah, you can put anything that you want to put on the upper part of this gun. And now all the competitive shooters use optics. So I just thought it was kind of interesting. We were talking about things that are kind of oddball and interesting, and I thought about these guns because they are really kind of, in the case of this one, a relic from a different time, and in the case of this one, something to put on a relic from a different time that makes it as good as anything that you can buy anywhere today. So there are guys at Camp Perry that shoot these against guns like Hammerleys and the old high standards that were made in Camden that are revered for their accuracy. So 1.5 inches at 50 yards from a pistol is pretty remarkable.
That is.
Pretty cool.
I mean, he has this article here. Again, we'll link it in the description below, but if you want to look and read over stuff for yourself, obviously you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, and you may find some mistakes that I made in dates and names and things like that, but that's pretty much the way the story is. From when you start talking about stories of stuff from over 50 years ago, sometimes it's hard to be correct.
So is there any chance we could shoot one of these today, or?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up in here. Again, this will be fun for me. If I get an opportunity, I've never even handled a 1911, so.
You haven't?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never shot one, never handled one, but I think we'll move outside and get a few clips of us shooting and
remember how this part goes in.
We might be here a while.
Yeah, we might be here a while. But you know what? We can always look on the phone.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we can look on the inner tube, right?
Yeah, on the inner tube. You can find a video of anything on the inner tube. I go on the inner tube all the time. And I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon too.
Amazing, you said?
Amazon. Amazon. Look them up. They sell all kinds of stuff at discounted prices, and you get it the next day.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right, we have a Colt Gold Cup National Match 1911 with a 22 conversion kit. It's also my first time ever handling a 1911. Uh-oh.
Got a malfunction?
We had a malfunction, which is fine.
Yeah, it's pretty normal. Okay. All right, try it again.
Man.
The recoil is amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
I want one.
Doesn't it have as much recoil as a 9mm?
It does.
Yeah.
For a 22
But we
caliber.
talked earlier about how it was prone to malfunction. And in all fairness to the gun, I had just put it together,
Yeah.
and that was the second shot. That would be the first shot that it cycled after we loaded it.
Right.
But still, pretty
Very impressive.
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty amazing. All right.
That was sick. A late 1990s model, Bob Marvel, 1911, 22 caliber conversion kit.
Yep.
See how she runs. And that's interesting, the way the barrel just doesn't move.
Right.
Which is crazy. Wow. Look at me. So, man. Oh, man. I want one of these too.